This one is for the fucked up, chewed ups.
Make the ground shake. Make the ground shake.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yo. Yo. That's how we do it.
Oh, that is some beautiful music, isn't it? That was Spirit of Life by Black Mill. If you haven't heard of Black Mill, you should definitely check them out. There I am. Black Mill's one of my favorite artists. They have a lot of classics, and so you should look them up if you haven't. Their genre is chill step, which is a combination of dubstep and chill. So you can like chill while you dub. Wah, 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 wah. Ah, you know, it's a combination. It's perfect. So for those of you just joining us, what we're doing right now is watching GDAX. That's what's on the screen behind me. This is a US-based exchange where you can buy and sell virtual currencies like Bitcoin. And today they're launching Bitcoin Cash, which is an alternative virtual currency to Bitcoin. Some say Bitcoin is an alternative to Bitcoin Cash, but we're not going to get into that just yet. So what we have right now, they've opened the market at 9 o'clock Pacific time. It is now 26 minutes after that. So the market's been open for 26 minutes, but it's in post-only mode. And what that means is you can place orders, but they cannot be filled. And so that causes all the orders to crowd up next to each other. And that's what you see right here. Let's see if I can pull up my mouse cursor. See my mouse? Oh, perfect. So this is the order book here. These are all the offers to sell Bitcoin Cash, and these are all the offers to buy. And right in between, look at this, $4,329.51, $4,329.52. So they're smashed up against each other. All these offer to sell for 52, all these offer to buy for 51. When they flip the switch and turn on trading, these offers are going to sit there and they'll get eaten up by people accepting those offers. So we're going to see the market move very suddenly once the market is once post-only mode is disabled and once people are able to trade. So for right now, we're just seeing these pile up, kind of two walls building up. Right now, the market value of Bitcoin Cash is a little below 4,300. It's about 4,000, depending on what exchange you look at. It's about 4,100 on Bitstamp right now. So it's probably going to move downward slightly and see this 869 get gobbled up. But from there, who knows what's going to happen, because there's a lot that can go on when a new exchange is open. So I have more to say about that, but before we do that, let's enjoy another song, because our next song is Frame of Mind by Tristram. What I did for this music actually is pull up Midas, which is M-I-T-I-S. It's an artist that does very relaxing music. If you haven't heard of them, you should check them out. And then I did play radio, music like them. So that's what we're going to hear today. So without further ado, enjoy Frame of Mind.
Can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm, you'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. And when the light comes through, when the day isn't you, then it will be time for a new frame of mind. When all eyes are on you, you will know what to do, since you will have found your new frame of mind. When you lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, but always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
That was fun. That was Frame of Mind by Tristram. So the market's not moving yet. I've just checked status.gdx.com and they have not set a time for when they're going to turn on the markets. The first time they did this yesterday. Let me tell you a little story. Yesterday, GDAX suddenly announced that they were offering Bitcoin Cash trading while we're streaming here today. And they turned on the markets just like we see here, post-only mode, where you could place orders, but they couldn't be filled. And then they turned on the full market. They disabled that mode and said, okay, go trade. So the market was at about $3,000 at that time. And the rest of the exchanges were about $3,200. So it was lagging a little bit low. Well, as soon as they turned on the trading, the price shot up from 3,000 to 3,200 to equalize, but it did not stop there. It went way past 4,000, 5,000. I was sitting there at my computer yesterday when this was happening. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. It went over $9,000 and down to 8,500, and it was just stuck there at 8,500. I'm like, what in the world? Why aren't people selling? 8,500 is way more than Bitcoin Cash is worth right now. Well, it turns out they had turned off the market again. They're like, this is out of control, man. And they turned it off. So in the end, they shut down the market. They're turning it on today, and that's what we're live streaming today. So I think they just didn't have enough liquidity in the marketplace to keep the price stable. And a lot of people who are on Coinbase were like, I want to buy Bitcoin Cash. And they clicked buy without checking the price they were going to get. And so they were paying way too much. So this is a slower and more careful rollout of the trading exchange. We've had a day for people to deposit their Bitcoin Cash and offer it for sale. So I think we're going to see more stable prices than we saw yesterday. But still could be quite volatile today. So these orders here on the screen are going to get gobbled up suddenly. Now they're not exactly accurate as to the prices in the rest of the exchanges. Bitstamp is trading a little bit lower than this right now. So if you have money on Coinbase right now, if you have Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase, you might be able to benefit from the inaccuracy of these trades that are sitting on the book right now. As soon as they turn on trading, we don't know exactly what that's going to be, but as soon as they turn on trading, you could sell for, what price is that exactly? It's tiny on my screen, $4,329.51. And I'm guessing you could buy back for about $100 cheaper in the next 10-20 seconds. So that's a quick $100 if you have one BCH, just, for example. But everybody's going to be racing to do that. So it's going to be a mad scramble all at once. And that's kind of the purpose of this live stream. We get to see what happens when a new market opens up, when all the cows get let out of the pasture and they all, never mind, that's kind of a bad analogy. So Vanquish asks, why can't I see trade history? Well, I'll take a look behind myself here. Orders can be placed but not filled yet. So these orders are being placed on the order book. They're going to be fillable suddenly, and that's when we're going to see trade history. So let's jump into another song. Our next song is I'm going to skip this one because it's dumb. We're going to listen to You and Me by Scrux. Enjoy. Love that beat. Very pleasant song, if I do say so myself. I got to show off my Shapeshift shirt today. I actually have the image flipped, so it's not Shapeshift. It's which is Shapeshift spelled backwards, if you know what I mean. Because actually, I love coming out of the right side of the screen, but my microphone is mounted to the desk over there, and there's no desk over there. So I have to make my shirt backwards. It's the only thing I can do. So the fox is facing backwards. You're going to have to get over that. That's pretty fun. So I've seen some bandying, some bartering, what's the word? Well, it starts with B and it's really long, about the phrase Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. So what does this mean? I actually want to take a moment to answer and talk about what people mean when they say Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin, because it kind of stirs up some emotion in people, and it doesn't have to be emotional. It can be completely logical, like me. It can be like an animatron. I got a comment on one of my videos today. It's the video is getting started with Electrum. It's the world's most popular Electrum video of all time, if you can believe that. And if you can't, well, it's still true. If you go to youtube.com and search for Electrum, it's the #1 video, and it's me saying, hello, welcome to Electrum. I am not a robot. And I got a comment on the video that said, this guy's a robot. I got another, that was today. Today I got that comment. And then like a couple months ago, I was like, this guy's an android, because I don't get that many comments, because let's face it, I'm a robot. So anyway, that's just to say emotions are entirely unnecessary. You don't need emotions to do well in life. You do need to detect other people's emotions, though. That's one thing that I'm not very good at. So anyway, let's get over the nerd fest. Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. This is because Bitcoin was originally designed with a block size limit that was much, much higher than the actual amount of traffic on the network. So you can send transactions on the Bitcoin network, and then there's like a maximum throughput of the network. And this is the number of transactions. Like this is like here, because it was like one every day, because Bitcoin's been around for a long time. And then here's the limit. So Bitcoin worked fine with the limit way up there. And for years and years and years, the limit was not reached. People just transacted as much as they wanted, and they paid tiny amounts of fees just for fun, because it was tiny amounts, like 2 cents or half a cent or 4 cents. And then as Bitcoin got more and more popular, it started hitting the limit. In 2015, it started hitting the limit where it could process as much as it could and no more. So people had to compete to get into that limited space. And that caused the fees people were willing to pay to go up. Because if you pay 8 cents on your transaction, the other guy pays 5 cents, well, your transaction's more important to the miners. They're going to get 8 cents instead of 5. So they process it first. And so you kind of get in line with the higher fees going first. And as a result, this fee market kind of arose. Now, a lot of people came out and said, this fee market's going to destroy Bitcoin, guys. And it didn't. As you can see, the fee market is in full force and Bitcoin's not completely destroyed yet. But hey, maybe it'll get destroyed in the future. Let's not be premature. That would be really bad, especially if we were always premature in everything we do. But for the last 2 years, from 2015 to 2017, Bitcoin has been operating with some sort of fee market where you have to pay more fees in order to get your transaction processed sooner. And so the phrase Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin is reflective of the fact that when Bitcoin was created and for most of its existence, all the way through 2015, it operated with the block size limit much higher than the actual level of traffic on the network. And that's exactly what Bitcoin Cash did. It's a fork of Bitcoin, basically a copy of Bitcoin with one significant change. There's some insignificant changes, but the one significant change is to increase that block size limit so that people can transact without having to compete and pay higher fees than each other. So in a way, it's the real Bitcoin because it's the Bitcoin that existed for way longer than today's Bitcoin. Whether or not it's the real Bitcoin, that's an emotional question. We're going to not answer that just yet. So our next song is none other than One Step Forward by Direct. What we've got on the screen behind me is GDAX. They're going to start trading in a moment here. And by that, I mean in an unknown amount of time. So in the meantime, let's enjoy One Step Forward. Thanks for watching. Love that song. That was For Miles and Miles by Midas. If you haven't heard of them, Midas is a great band. They have music that sounds kind of like that. It's Mitis, as you can see on the stream above me. I like going like this. Like, as you can see above my head, you can see the song up there. And although, you know, if you want to know the artist name, it's up there. Yeah. So one of the comments I got in the chat, this is a great comment, is what do you guys think of having faster block times instead of larger blocks? Because, you know, then we'd get confirmations faster. And that's actually, wait, stop it. There we go. Sorry, the next song started. You couldn't hear it because you're awesome, but it was filling up my ears. So Bitcoin could have faster blocks, and it would work just fine that way. In fact, Litecoin has blocks that are 4 times faster. They're 2.5 minutes instead of 10 minutes per block on average, and it works perfectly well that way. So it's actually a great solution. Speed up the block times, man. But there's so much rigidity around Bitcoin, and by that I mean so much resistance to change. So many people who have implemented it a certain way that it's very, very, very difficult to change anything, because there's so many people that they're not all going to agree on any change at all. At all. Like nothing, like not even allowing transactions to go through without insane fees. That's what we've seen on Bitcoin now. The maximum block size is so low that it's very expensive to transact. And you would think people would come together and say, you know, this is kind of a problem, paying $87 in fees. I saw one guy paid over $900 for 2 transactions. And that was because he had a lot of small UTXOs, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, that's okay. He just paid a lot of money in fees. So, but in a way, that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing that high fees are being paid, because that's supporting the miners. So if the block reward goes down to 0, which it will after you're dead, then the blockchain will still live on with high fees. So that's a thing too. So hopefully that's good. So what we're watching behind me here is GDAX, the exchange. You can see up here is an empty price history chart, and down here are no open orders that I've placed, because I haven't placed any open orders. In fact, I'm not even signed in. Maybe I should create an account over there. I just like pointing. What we're waiting for right now is for GDAX to open up the exchange. They're going to click a button, or maybe they'll press a key, or maybe they'll like spin around 3 times and wink, because they have a facial recognition camera that's like, we're going to enable trading when that guy spins around 3 times. I don't know how Coinbase works. They're pretty high tech. And when that happens, we're going to see some fast trading on this exchange. What we see on the left here are all the orders waiting to be traded right now on Bitstamp. The price is $4,167 for 1 BCH, for 1 unit of Bitcoin Cash. But as you can see over here, the price is more like 4,300. So I predict that, wham, the price will come down a little bit. If you have a fast trigger finger, you could actually click sell as soon as they open trading and sell one of those 400 and what's the number? I can't quite see. It's very tiny. Tiny screen. 496 BCH are offered to be purchased at 43.29.51. And if you are quick, you could sell your BCH into that wall and get a slightly higher price than you see on other markets. So good luck with that. I'm just going to live stream instead. Let's enjoy another song. We have, I'm going to skip this one because it's, oh yeah, I'm going to skip that one too. You can see him above my head. You can see me skipping stuff. So this one's called Elixir, and it's kind of gives you a headache. So you can just mute the song if you don't like it. Enjoy. Oh, that was so awesome. Usually those songs are like, they're like, no, please be so quiet. But that song was so well. Why is my room showing? There we go. Wow, that song was so well designed. I mean, it was like, it was a masterpiece. You know what I mean? It was so good that even though the music was obnoxious, it was enjoyable. That's the sign of good music. It's like, you realize you should be annoyed, but you kind of like it. That's good music right there. So Coinbase first announced when they were opening this market that they would have it open in post-only mode, which is what we're seeing here, where orders can be placed but not filled for at least, were the ASCII characters they used, or maybe it was UTF-8, at least, and I feel really choppy. I feel really choppy right now. At least 60 minutes. And if I look at my clock, it's been exactly 60 minutes since they opened this at 9 a.m. PST, 1 hour ago. So at any moment now, trading could open up. I definitely feel choppy. This is kind of creepy. I don't know if I look choppy to you, but I'm even more robotic than usual. So there's a discussion in the chat. How low will the price go when this opens? Because we're going to see some crushing downward pressure on the price. As you can see, the offers to sell vastly outnumber the offers to buy. We've got 5,300 BCH offered for sale at the price of $4,329.50. And we have only 300 BCH offered to be purchased at $43.29.51. That is a difference of approximately 5,154.7 BCH in between those two numbers, and that's a lot of BCH. That's going to be selling pressure right there. The price in the markets right now, let's just look at my auxiliary device. Oh, Bitstamp has risen. It's now trading at 4,251, very, very close to this price. So there's not a lot of downward pressure that I think is going to be applied effectively, because once we get down to 4,200, 4,100, people are going to be offering to buy so that they can go sell on the other exchanges. But often exchanges can get out of sync because it takes time to send your money from exchange to exchange, so we could see a significant drop. My guess is it's going to go down to about 3,500 and then it's going to bounce back. We had one person in the chat, that was Alex O'Brien, who is crazy, and he says it's going to drop to $1,000. So keep an eye on that. Make sure Alex O'Brien doesn't kill himself when the price does not drop to $1,000. But if you do want to jump in on some cheap BCH and you have money on GDAX right now, I would definitely recommend opening up your account, signing in, using your two-factor authentication, and putting an offer to buy at like 2,800, 3,000, 3,100, you might actually get that filled and then have it bounce back really fast and make some quick cash. So that's a trading opportunity coming up right here. And our next opportunity is the opportunity to listen to Sandblast by Fox Stevenson. Enjoy.
There's nothing that needs to be said. We can pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. When everything comes to an end, we can pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. didn't think that it would be like this. So now I gotta work out what it is I missed. Now all this love is sticks and stones being thrown around homes and breaking bones. What did I do wrong this time? I finally found a fault. There's nothing that needs to be said. We can't pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. There's nothing enough for us when everything comes to an end. We can't pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. Oh. There'll be time for the changes we will make. If we rebuild, we can make it better. I know it's hard for you to take. I give it time, but I don't really care. I'm not the man that I was. I belong to the voice in my head that tells me you are falling away from yourself and from everyone else. There's nothing that needs to be said. We can't pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. There's nothing enough for us when everything comes to an end. We can't pretend we'll sandblast these walls and paint them again. Oh.
Beautiful. I've got to give a shout out to Kyle Weller. He told me how to make my screen larger. I've been struggling for an hour to show the depth chart and the price chart at the same time. And I have another computer over here where I was experimenting with all these things, but the key is control minus, guys. If you don't know that secret, control minus makes things smaller. And then Coinbase is like, oh, I'm GDAX. And if you want things small, and then it puts more on the screen. So that's the secret. If you're trading on GDAX and you wish you could see more things at once, press control minus, it makes things smaller. And then I can just use my software, as you saw, like mixing up the screen like that. You can get things lined up. So the trading is going to open up at any moment. What we see here on the lower part of the screen is the depth chart. This is the offers to buy and sell, and this is the price of the offer. So 4,330. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now we can see a little bit better, 43.30, and these are the offers to buy. They come down here to about, here's 1,900, where you can buy, let's see, 8,200 Bitcoin Cash. That's a fair amount. It's more than I have. And then over here, the offers to sell. Yeah, quite a bit more offers to sell. That's good. Hopefully this market will be quite stable when it launches. What you see up above are all the trades that have occurred. Whoa, there's so many. That's cool. So I want to listen to more music because that song was pretty good. So let's just jump ahead to our next song. I don't want to hear that one, though. It's a good song, but not right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Enjoy Parting by Midas. You got a little preview of the next song there, but that is not what we're going to do right now. Instead, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Bitcoin's so cool. So we now have 80 some people on the stream waiting for Coinbase to launch. The latest status update is that what's wrong with my screen? The latest status update is that, think about this. The exchange will be closed for at least 60 minutes from 75 minutes ago. So at 75 minutes ago, they came out with an announcement saying it's going to open in at least 60 minutes from now, maybe probably longer. And so now we've been waiting 75 minutes and it could be any moment now. What you're going to see right up here is the trade history appearing. And these are 5-minute candles. So let's fix that because who wants to wait 5 minutes for a candle to show up? Now we've got 1-minute candles. So this means every minute there's going to be a new candle. Wow, I love candles. And under behind me then is the depth chart. This is where all the trades are happening. My finger gets cut off, but I don't care because I have plenty more. This is going to be really, really exciting. We see a huge sell wall at about 6,200, no, 5,800 BCH are being sold. You can see that on the left side of the screen right there, 5,800. If all of those BCH are dumped on the market at the same time, if you just draw a line straight across like to here, you can see the price could drop all the way down to 2,166 USD. So if you have money on Coinbase, I recommend putting a buy order in there at 2167, and you can pick up a BCH at a low, low price. Just kidding. But let's take a look at the Bitstamp price over here on the side of my microphone. Bitstamp has climbed significantly. We are now looking at about $4,300 on Bitstamp for 1 Bitcoin Cash. That is a powerful, powerful rise in the Bitcoin Cash price. Just 2 days ago, it was about 1,800. So let's do the math, more than double in 2 days. That's a pretty good return on investment. I'm just so excited for this. So if you guys have a topic you want to chat about, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat here. Have any questions for me? I'll take those after our next song. But first, let's listen to Till It's Over by Tristram.
As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. And they thought they could keep me down, hold that breath and watch me drown, but all they did is push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight, it's not over till it's over.
Love that. So groovy, so pleasant. So at any moment, the market could open here, but what we see on Bitstamp is a significant rise. Oh, significant falling. It made it up past 4,300, and I started to think, because that's what I do. I thought, that's amazing. Maybe the price will rise higher than the Coinbase price here. We are locked in to a price on Coinbase.com or GDAX, like whatever this is. As you can see over there, the price is exactly 4,000. I can't see it. It's tiny. $4,329.51. That is not changing until the market opens because this is post only, meaning you can add orders, but you cannot fill orders. And so in order for that price to change, everyone would have to remove their order. So all 374 of these BCH, these Bitcoin Cash orders would have to be withdrawn in order for people to place offers to sell below that, because you're not allowed to fill and you're not allowed to overlap either. So we're stuck right here. Now, those people who have set those orders, a lot of them are dead right now or asleep or something else that prevents them from removing it. And that means those are going to sit right there and we're pretty much locked into this price. Meanwhile, the real world changes significantly, as does my voice when I turn my head. We're at about 4,200. I have a screen over here that tells me the price on Bitstamp, which is another major exchange that's already trading Bitcoin Cash against Bitcoin and against US dollars, which is what we have right here. So we got a question in the chat. Is there a way to get Kronos a better internet fund? It says, is there a get Kronos better internet fund? And I'm like, I need to get better? Maybe I'm like, I'm sick or something, or how do I need to improve? But it turns out Get Kronos Better Internet Fund actually means Get Kronos Better Internet Fund, because I'm super blurry and choppy right now. Well, that's very nice of you to offer. Thank you. I don't have anything set up. I guess I could put a donation link on the stream, but I don't really want your money. I want you to love the channel and tell your friends, because right now we have what, just under 5,000 subscribers, and I'd rather have just under 5 million subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, you can click the subscribe button down there. That can be your form of donation. Tell your friends, link to this stream, because it's getting be a pretty fun party in here. If you've got friends who love Bitcoin, or rather love Bitcoin Cash and hate Bitcoin, then you should tell them to join this stream. It's going to be pretty fun when the trading starts any moment now. And if you really do want to send me money, maybe no, I don't want your money. I literally don't want your money because it's not enough. That actually is kind of the reason. Nah, that's not the reason. I want your money, but I just don't want the downside, which is if I allow you to give me money, then it hurts my reputation. I'd rather be that guy who just can't give money to. And I'd rather have it be like, I also have this large water cup. So why would I need money? I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this thing, right? It's way better than money. So there's a question in the chat. How much do you think it'll rise long-term as a percentage of Bitcoin? This is a very, very good question, Alex O'Brien, because Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin are locked into a battle right now, and it will lead to the death of one of them. I don't think that they will both survive over the next 1,000 years. One of them is going to die, and I predict it's going to be Bitcoin. I actually think Bitcoin is going to outlast, whoops, I said it backwards. I actually think Bitcoin Cash is going to outlast Bitcoin. What I think is going to happen in the next 100, 150 years or so is Bitcoin is going to have a sharp difficulty drop and loss in price, which is a loss in mining power, which is going to be really slow blocks. And that's going to cause fees to rise so high because people are waiting to get into those blocks. When there's less of them, then there's less throughput. And that's going to be like a spiraling death spiral of spiralness, where Bitcoin is frozen up and it needs blocks in order to get the difficulty down, because the difficulty only updates every 2,000 and a number blocks. And so if you don't get that many, the difficulty doesn't go down. And so what could happen is the Bitcoin price falls suddenly, kind of like we've seen over the last 2 days. It's fallen about 10%. And Bitcoin Cash rises suddenly, kind of like we've seen over the last 2 days. It's doubled in price. If that happens more, like way more, like Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin trade places in price, that would be almost fatal to Bitcoin, because blocks would come out slowly and Bitcoin Cash would run smoothly, and it would take a long time for Bitcoin to adjust its difficulty algorithm and recover. So it's kind of vulnerable to that death spiral, and that's actually what I think is going to happen to it eventually. And like I said, next 100, 150 years. So if you're planning to live that long, you should react to that news and do something about it. The trading is not yet open, but I'm going to play another song because I love music. Guys, I love music. Do you love music? I don't know why, because it's just like sound, air's pressure waves are moving through the air, and suddenly I'm happy, but that's the way it works. I thought a lot about music, and I decided I have no idea why I like it. But I do. Let's enjoy Spectrum. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. These songs are so nice. Oh, that was just wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. I'm glad you took time out of your day or night or interplanetary time, whatever location you may be, to join us today. We are live streaming the launch of Bitcoin Cash on GDAX. GDAX is an exchange that's owned by Coinbase. As you can see behind us, there are many, many offers to buy and sell right here, but there are 0 trades so far because they haven't opened up trading. You can place your orders, but you cannot fill them. So we're stuck around this price right here to my is that my left or my right? I have the camera flip. Look at this. Shapeshift. Just kidding. It's to first pressure because that's shapeshift pronounced backwards. Yeah. The camera is actually flipped, so I have no idea what side of me that is. But anyway, I'm kind of choppy right now. 4,300 is the price right there. The Bitstamp price is a little different. It's 4,190, but that's pretty close. So we're going to see a little jumping around when that opens for sure. Excited for that. I was asked on the chat, and there's a little discussion around the Lightning Network. The question is, will the Lightning Network be a feasible way to get transaction load off of the on-chain network for Bitcoin? Is it going to save Bitcoin from high fees? I am extremely confident. I am extremely confident that the Lightning Network will not save Bitcoin from high fees. I'll give you 2 reasons. The first is its limitations. First of all, you have to have a channel open in order to use it, and then you can only use as much money as you have in the channel, and then if it runs out, you have to open another channel. So your money is like always in channels that might run out, and that's very tedious and expensive if fees are high to open and close those channels. So that one reason is complexity. Did I say complexity? I think I said usability. The second reason is the more important one, which is in order for something to be in use, there needs to be a market demand for it. And the benefits of the Lightning Network are, I think, not that much bigger than the benefits of on-chain transactions other than fees. Obviously, the idea is you would save money on fees if you're using the Lightning Network. But I don't see that as being a major savings for the consumer. And so the biggest reason I think the Lightning Network is not going to solve the fee problem is because it does not provide a compelling value for the user compared to just using another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin Cash, or there's many others, but I won't name them because I like Bitcoin Cash. Just kidding. I hate Bitcoin Cash. That's why I'm streaming the launch of Bitcoin Cash right now. It's terrible. Yeah. So because you could use Bitcoin Cash or another altcoin, or should I say, or an altcoin, never mind. The demand for the Lightning Network just isn't there. And another aspect of the Lightning Network is that it requires huge adoption in order to be useful at all. Because if you're on the Lightning Network, but the guy you're paying is not, or there's no connection between you, which would require some hops through other people who are on Lightning Network, then it isn't useful. It's kind of like electric cars with no charging stations. If you couldn't charge at your house and the nearest charging station was far away, you wouldn't join. You need a charging station near your house. However, if someone puts in a charging station near your house and there's no one using it, that's kind of a loss. It's like a chicken and egg problem. You need one in order to get the other. So the Lightning Network needs users in order to get users, and that's going to be a difficult challenge for it to get it off the ground. So overall, I am skeptical that it will solve problems. In fact, I'm extremely confident that it is not going to solve the problems that some people think it will. But I could be wrong. We'll throw that out there. I could be wrong. I was asked in the chat if I had a Patreon page because people really want to give me money. So I'm actually going to share a link in the chat to Patreon if you do want to give me money, but no obligation. 0. In fact, negative obligation. I'm telling you, don't give me anything. If you do, you're fighting an anti-obligation to do that. But keep an eye on this stream because at any moment trading is going to start. Who knows when? Enjoy the next song. It is going to be Life of Sin, which is totally a good name for a song. Be quiet. It's a good name. Trust me. That was Life of Sin Part 3. Rather, whoa. Don't you think it's rather odd that Life of Sin would have a Part 3? Because I would think like Part 1 and then maybe Part 2 and then you'll die of STDs. So good luck with that. It's amazing that he made it to Part 3. No joke, just kidding. That was totally a joke. So he's seeing some debate about what the price is going to do. A lot of people think it's going to crash a lot, like down into 3,000 or 2,200 or at least 3,200. Like that's a lot of crash because if you look at the Bitstamp price and the other prices around the ecosystem, it's somewhere north of 4,000. The price of Bitcoin Cash right now is above 4,000 and it's been stable that way for several hours. By that I mean like three hours. It's been stable above there. So when they turn on trading on this exchange, GDAX, it's very possible that it's going to overshoot that because you can see all those sell orders there. That big red blob behind my elbow right there is going to perhaps fall onto the green blob, if you know what I mean. If you don't know how to read these depth charts, let me explain because it's actually really, really useful to be able to read these charts if you ever buy or sell anything on a market. Now, if you're just used to going to the store and accepting whatever price is given to you, like, oh, 59 cents a pound for bananas, I'll buy bananas, then you don't really know how the world actually works because there are offers to buy and sell that are going on constantly. If you live in America, you don't live so much in a barter society. It's very rare to be like, you know what, these bananas are kind of bruised. I'd like to pay 58 cents. How about that? You don't do that very much, but in a lot of parts of the world, that's much, much more common. And on a market like Bitcoin exchanges or stock market exchanges, it's very, 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 very common to have offers to buys and sells. It's not like someone puts out their stock and says, okay, it's this price or nothing, and they're the only seller. That would be an IPO or an ICO, I suppose, IPO in the stock sense. But it's much, much more common to enter a market and see many offers to buy and sell and make your own. So let's get to look at this chart. The middle part between the green and red is the current market price, and that's 4,300 whatever. And that's the gap between the offers to buy and offers to sell. Everything on that side, all that green, is offers to buy Bitcoin Cash at various prices. So this is the price 4,300. This is the price 3,500. And as you move your mouse down here, you can see the wall growing because this is a cumulative effect of all the offers at this price or higher. So this bloop right here, that's bloop, you know, it's blooping. That's a huge offer to buy of approximately 1,800 Bitcoin Cash. That's a lot of Bitcoin Cashes at that specific price. And that's what pushes that up. And this large red wall is a huge offer to sell. So here's the axis here. This is in thousands of Bitcoin Cash. This says 5K if you can't see it. So 5,000 Bitcoin Cashes. And this is 10,000 Bitcoin Cashes. So if someone wants to dump all the offers to sell at any price, as opposed to just asking for this current price, then that would push the price all the way across horizontally to this price of about $2,000, $2,100 USD. Now that's not actually going to happen. In my opinion, it's not going to be like, I'm falling over, because gravity does not take effect on this chart. Things can just be propped up forever because this chart is actually in outer space. That's how it works. So, but the general idea is those offers to sell, the people could say, just give me whatever price is available. I don't want to ask for this price. And then they get what's called a market order, where it just fills at whatever's available on the market. So I was asked in the chat, here's a different question, change of subject. What I think about other mining algorithms like Equihash instead of Bitcoin's ASIC centric mining. I think that securing a blockchain with proof of work is a lot like politics. And by that, I mean, there's no good answer. If you use a algorithm like Bitcoin uses, SHA-256-2, I think, where it's like SHA-256 twice, if you know what I mean. But you don't know what I mean, so never mind. If you do that, people will design special hardware for mining that algorithm at a low use of electricity, and so it will become rather centralized. And Bitcoin mining is rather centralized because there's economies of scale of producing these customized units. However, I actually think that's the better bad outcome than the outcome of having a mining algorithm that people can run on their computers or even with their graphics cards. And I can explain that with one word: botnets. Botnets are the reason that ASICs are necessary, because a huge number of computers out on the internet are infected by virus software. And if you have a cryptocurrency that can be mined by computers efficiently, then the people who control those computers through those viruses can have them mine on their behalf. And all those computers run really slow, and the evil hacker thieves get all of the coin that's being created by those mining computers. And Bitcoin is invulnerable. It's basically impermeable. It's perfectly protected against this because computers are almost useless in mining Bitcoin. And so you have this trade-off between vulnerability to botnets, where you have centralization because all the world's computers are being controlled by an evil hacker, and then on the other side, ASICs, where all the mining is controlled by one person anyway, because they're the best manufacturer of the hardware that can mine that efficiently. And there is no good answer. You just have to pick something. And that's why I think that Bitcoin's proof of work is, I think, close to as good as it gets, because at least it doesn't have botnets, and at least many people, it's a very well-known platform. Many people can manufacture and run ASICs for Bitcoin. So I actually kind of like the Bitcoin mining algorithm because it's been out there for a long time. And in a sense, it's a playing field that's become level in the way that it's become level. I mean, the rules are out there. And so now we just play by the rules as opposed to making new rules and then we're exposed to botnet. So I like that. Hopefully that answers your question. And the reason, by the way, that I said it was like politics is because I think that any political system has huge drawbacks because humans are selfish and greedy. And so anyone who says my political ideas are perfect and if we just follow them, we would have a utopia is being foolish because there's bad things about every option. So the market behind me is still frozen up. So let's listen to another song. Soon this is going to spring to life and then the stream will really get exciting. Let's listen to Miracle by Blackmail. Blackmill. Oh yeah. If you have not heard of Blackmill, check them out. One of the best groups for chill step. That's right. Chill step is a kind of music. It's a cross between dubstep, which is like wah 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 wah, and chill, which is like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this. So you mix those two together, you got Blackmill. Check them out at the internet. That's where they are. Question in the chat: is it possible to recover stolen bitcoins with the 51% method? No. No, it's not. It's really, 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 really hard to recover stolen bitcoins, and by that I mean pretty much impossible. One way to recover them is to find the thief and drive to their location. Perhaps you fly. Bring a wrench that's about this long, and then hold the wrench over their head and say, "Give me back my bitcoins, or I will hit you with this wrench." That's one of the effective ways to get bitcoins from somebody. It's not the only one, but it's among the top few ways. Stealing them back, not so easy, unless you count that as stealing. Another person says, I love crypto so much. Buy the asset, get the drama for free. Most of us have families for that. It is the holiday season in the United States. A lot of you guys getting together with your families for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you're doing. And around the world, I don't know anything about other countries. Never mind. I'm in the United States. I'm not going to make a fool of myself except to say I'm a fool. But yeah, drama for free. What can I say? Usually you shouldn't talk about politics or religion on holidays. I'm going to add Bitcoin to that because your relatives may not love Bitcoin as much as you do, and they might be really, really tired of hearing about it. So try to refrain from talking about how Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin blah, 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 and Litecoin blah, 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 and all your favorite other coins blah, 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 because yeah, a lot of people talk too much about what they care about and not enough what other people talk about. Human beings love to talk. They love to hear the sound of their own voice. That's why streaming is so great, because it's like, I can't even hear you guys. I just hear myself. So great. In fact, I even like hear myself through my ears. That's how great it is. But that's like a life pro tip for all you nerds out there is if you can get somebody to talk about themselves, they're going to feel like that was a good conversation. I'm not kidding. Because they won't remember what you talked about. They'll go away, a year later, they'll think back on that conversation and they will think that was a nice interaction. And they won't realize the reason it was nice was because they talked about themselves and you helped them do it. So that's my pro tip for you this holiday season is to get people to talk about themselves. It will make them happy. So what we're watching right now is the GDAX launch of Bitcoin Cash. The markets are frozen right now, as I've been saying many times, because they've been frozen for 2 hours, but they could come unfrozen at any moment. We see huge offers to buy and sell right here. That's the red and green. When the market unfreezes, red is going to over green probably, but the price is $4,300 on this market and about $4,100, $4,150 around the internet. So it's probably going to move down a little bit. We might see a major overreaction. So stick around. We're going to keep an eye out for an active, overactive market. Whatever happens is going to happen fast. In the meantime, let's skip this one and let's listen to All I Got by Said the Sky. Is that a thing? I've never heard of Said the Sky, but I'm about to hear Said the Sky. Let's do it.
I told you I would come back home. I know you hate to be alone. Instead of kissing you goodnight, I'm kissing strangers. Always listen, but I never learned. Should have been hanging on your every word. I was taking you for granted, never realized danger. And I took too long. And now she's gone. If I only knew right from wrong, she'd be right back in my arms. Now you're slipping through my fingers and I don't know what to do. And I keep hoping you call back. Can we forget about the past? 'Cause baby, all I really want is you. And I took too long. And now she's gone. If I only knew right from wrong, she'd be right back in my arms. You, and I don't know what to do.
I just want to say the market's going to open in 1 minute. Keep an eye on it. So I'm going to take this moment to say the market is going to open in about 30 seconds and we're going to see some major volatility. If it is too volatile, Coinbase has announced, or GDAX, this exchange right here, has announced on Twitter that they will freeze trading again. However, they might not. So keep an eye on the markets. We're about to see a grand opening while we listen to Worries. Great name for a song while we watch Bitcoin prices shoot around the screen. It's going to be awesome.
Don't make a sound, don't make a face. cold and uninvolved. And when I cry, they say I shouldn't worry. I shouldn't worry at all. I shouldn't worry at all.
All right, finally the song is over. Oh yeah, hold on, let me type this thing into the chat. Okay, that looks good. The market has opened. As you can see, it did not drop. Did not, let me repeat myself, did not drop to 2,500 or even 3,000. Personally, I had an order in there. Let's be honest, it was at about 3,100, but I've since canceled it because I don't feel confident about that anymore. The Bitstamp market did fall. The other markets around the internet did fall to just below 4,000 at the time of the market opening. We did see increased volume and increased volatility worldwide when it comes to Bitcoin Cash as this market opened. You can see trades flying past. Let me move this a little bit so you can see that. Up above my head now, I love pointing up, are trades flying past. These are trades that have been completed, and you can see a lot of trades being completed as the market jumps around. Let me move the music to this corner. Perfect. Oh, this looks really good. Oh, nice. Let's also zoom in a little bit on this channel. So very, very stable trading market. You can see stability around 4,000, matching the Bitstamp market at 4,040. So this was a very successful opening for Coinbase. They launched their market. It has good liquidity, relatively good liquidity, and it has stable pricing near the market's prices on the other exchanges. So I don't think they'll be closing this market again. One question we had in the chat was, how long is it going to be until the Euro market opens? Because I want to buy Bitcoin Cash with euros, or maybe sell. I don't know. I'm going to guess it's going to be another day at least. It's just completely numbers OTA, which stands for out of the air. And I'm making up the number 1 for 1 day on that market. And it's also trading against Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash trading. And I'm opening up the menu right now, and those two markets are still closed. So right now you can only trade against USD. If you really need euros, you can sell for dollars and then trade your dollars for Bitcoin and then trade your Bitcoin for euros. But I don't recommend doing that. I recommend just waiting around a little bit. Oh, cool. Chester323 has subscribed. Oh, never mind. They subscribed to my chess channel. I got my watch here. I actually have a chess channel as well. You can check it out. It's Chess Whiz TV. That's ChessWhiz TV, where I do goofy things out of chessboard. But forget about that. It's all Bitcoin all the time right now. And the market's still stable around 4,000. We see a huge sell wall at 4,300. That's a residual effect from when the market was closed. All of these offers to sell are left over from when the markets were frozen. And so they're going to sit there for a while until the price significantly pushes past them. On the other side, we don't see a huge amount of support, but pretty sufficient support to keep the market stable. If we zoom in here on this area, you can see 100 BCH, which is about $400,000 support in the next $100 price range. So that's enough stability that we're going to see the market stable around this price. So that pretty much marks a successful launch to Coinbase. So congratulations to Coinbase and GDAX for a successful and stable launch of Bitcoin Cash. Let's watch these trades for a few more minutes and just see what happens with the price. We've got very close stability now between Bitstamp on one screen. I've got here 4,093 USD and Coinbase or GDAX trading at just under 4,000. So close enough to be, I'd consider close enough to be we're moving in tandem. So that's pretty awesome. Let's listen to another song while we watch the markets here. This is going to be Born by Midas, one of my favorites. That was Breakdown VIP by Noisestorm. Awesome music for this kind of crypto market. Very, very energizing. I was thinking the price is going to shoot up just because the music was so upbeat, but somehow that didn't quite happen. My computer is really struggling to show these price charts, so I'm going to restart the browser. You can see it reloading here. Hopefully that will let the pressure off a little bit. My task manager on Google Chrome says CPU 118%. Let me turn on my camera. 118% CPU usage on this tab. This is mad. When the market was closed an hour ago, my computer was like, oh, this is so easy. I am definitely not struggling. And then they turn it on and I can barely handle it. That's a good thing, of course. What you're seeing above my head right now are the trades that are occurring right now on Coinbase, or GDAX, I guess, which is owned by Coinbase. You can see trades just flowing through the network. They're very tiny, tiny amounts, but not all of them. You can see 10 BCH going past right there. Oh, it's going behind my shoulder. Oh, it's gone already. Wow. Very, very high volume here. We can see other markets around the space staying very stable at around 4,000. So Bitcoin Cash is currently stable, 3,900, 4,000 in that range. What are we going to see in the next couple of minutes? I think we're going to see my computer just get bogged down, and then I'm going to get choppier and choppier. And then what's going to happen? My guess is I'm seeing a lot of predictions in the chat. I think my prediction is that the price is going to go down. And that's based on the fact that just 2 days ago, Bitcoin Cash cost less than $2,000 for 1 unit. Now it's $4,000 for 1 unit. I don't know what changed about Bitcoin Cash to make it twice as valuable. So my guess is maybe that was like an overreaction and it's going to be a little bit less than twice as valuable. Which you can see, this area right here is actually a really interesting area on the screen. This is the depth chart of the market, where you can see offers to buy and offers to sell in a visual representation. So this wall on the right are offers to sell. You can see lots of offers to sell, big one at 39.40, and then another large one at 39.90, and then 4,000. So these are offers to sell Bitcoin Cash at these different prices. Green, however, offers to buy, not so much. We got to zoom out here a little bit to see that the significant support comes at about 3,700, 3,500. There's not as much offers, not as much support in the offer to buy category. So that generally signifies a downward pressure, but order books can be extremely deceiving. Do not just look at an order book like this, or a depth chart, which is the same way. It's another way to look at an order book and say, haha, I know what the price is going to do. You do not know what the price is going to do. If you learn one thing in the next 10 years, besides the fact that my computer can't stream, you should learn that you have no idea what's going to happen in any market. Because there's a very famous saying which says, I don't remember who said it, but it was a guy who knows a lot of things. He said, the market can stay irrational. The market will stay irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Which means if you make a bet that the market's going to move in a certain direction, because you know it will, you could be right, and yet it could take so long to actually do that that you go bankrupt waiting for it. And that's definitely happened to a lot of Bitcoin shorters over the last couple of months, as they say, how could Bitcoin be worth $5,000? How could Bitcoin be worth $8,000? How could $10,000? Like, I need to short this thing. And of course it just goes up more. And so what's going to happen now? You don't know. I think that's the one big takeaway you should take from this stream is you need to take your confidence level down a notch and be able to say, I don't know. And that's true actually in a lot of areas of life. I'm not going to go into the details, but if you think about the areas where you have the greatest convictions, if you turn down your convictions just a little bit and say, maybe I'm wrong, you might be a more pleasant person. All right, let's listen to the next song before my computer crashes. It's going to be Feeling Stronger. No, stop it. I don't like that song. And since I'm the DJ, I get to choose the song. And I'm choosing Spirals feat. King Deco, because I say so. You can see the music up there, and I like pointing this direction. So look, up there you can see a plus sign, and also there's an artist name and a music name. These songs are based around the artist Midas. That's M-I-T-I-S. I looked up Midas specifically. This is from Spotify, which is a music streaming service. And then I said, create a radio station around Midas. And that's why we have this awesome music. So if you like what you're hearing, check them out, M-I-T-I-S. They're not paying me to say that, but that's okay because neither are you. All right, let's listen to some music.
Remember when you asked me to paint you all my dreams? I told you a sailboat, no compass. was just us in an open sea. I'll sing like a siren, our island is floating. The sail in the blue sky is our only curtain. I'll show you a spiral staircase that only your eyes can see. I'll spin your walls around like spirals. Won't you go all the way down, down like spirals, like spirals, like spirals. Stairs to a cave by the ocean. Unravel all for you, all for you. All for you. Remember when our paradise was green grapevines and leaves? Do you remember when the shorelines grew for you and me? I'll build you a house where the hallways will always lead you to bedrooms where I will be waiting. I'll show you a spiral staircase that only your eyes can see. I'll spin your walls around like spirals. Won't you go
That was fun. That was fun. Well, we're kind of wrapping up the stream. I've been streaming live for just 2.5 hours. I guess that's a short stream for Chronos. I did do like a 16-hour stream the other day. And by that, I mean like 4 or 5 months ago. This is the direction of the past, okay? This is the future. So that's why I'm pointing like that. But that is a long stream. But also there's nothing else to show on the stream except a bunch of red candles going down. As you can see up there, the price has been dripping downward. And who wants to look at prices going down? Most people are not short Bitcoin Cash because it's kind of hard to short Bitcoin Cash right now. Instead, they're kind of either neutral or long. And so it's very depressing to watch the price go down. And so I'm feeling kind of bad myself. If you guys want to stick around, I definitely encourage you to do so. I'm going to play some grand music and then go eat some food maybe. But I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. So if you have questions, keep on talking to me there. I'll keep talking to you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that because when you subscribe, you get an email from YouTube whenever I go on and stream again. So that'll be great. And there's also a mailing list, which is behind me. Let's see if I can move out of the way. See, it's working. 1minutecrypto.com. My arm / oh, my chair is in the way now. Wait, I can rotate the chair. Anyway, it's 1minutecrypto.com/join. And that's because the show that I run is called 1 Minute Crypto. You can join that mailing list and then I'll email you when I'm streaming. I'll also email you cool things like, hey, I just had some turkey for dinner. I think that might be interesting to you. If it's not, I won't send it to you. First, I'll decide, is this interesting? No, and then I won't send it. So all those days when you don't get emails from me, you can just assume that my life is not interesting. That's a pretty safe assumption. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will stick around for a while, but I may not come on the show quite as much. I will be behind the camera, maybe behind my green screen, watching the trading with the rest of you. So take care, enjoy the show. So I'll just take a moment to interject here. There's some conversation about the current price of Bitcoin Cash. And there's some conversation about coinmarketcap.com. Great place to see the price of various cryptos. If you haven't heard of it yet, just browse to coinmarketcap.com. You can see the market caps and prices of many, many, many different cryptocurrencies. But you do have to take their prices with a grain of salt. I don't know where the grain came from. With a grain of salt. I'm leaving my camera off because I want to. Because they aggregate prices from many sources, and sometimes their sources aren't entirely accurate. So if you want to really get into a price, click on the price on that interface, and then it'll show you the different exchanges and the prices it's pulling from each one. And in the case of Bitcoin Cash, it's pulling from one specific exchange. Let me pull it up here. I'm not streaming it, but I'm clicking on it. And what you're going to see here, 3,900 is the USD price on coinmarketcap.com. Why is that? It's because they're pulling a source from BitThumb, which has the price at $4,595. That's pulling up the average. Where is that price coming from? It's because BitThumb is trading between Bitcash and Korean won. I'm not kidding. The trading pair is Bitcoin Cash against Korean won. And so I think that's what they're called. Anyway, it's the local Korean currency. And the result of that is it's very, very hard to get money in and out of that exchange from other exchanges. You can't just send your local currency and have them convert it, at least not in a simple manner. And so their price is somewhat disconnected from everybody else's. And you can also see the 9th on the list, Corbit, same idea. You can see that trading pair, different national currency, and that leads to a much different price. And that's getting averaged in. So CoinMarketCap is not entirely accurate. Just a heads up for those of you who are taking it at face value. All right, let's enjoy Devotion by Tristan.
Silent in the dark, waiting for the spark. The wood soaked in the blood, their hands join in the mud. The ember gently glowed, the spark took to their clothes. The flames kept on rising higher. They stood in the fire, they burned with desire, love and emotion. They danced with devotion. They stood in the fire, burned with desire, love and emotion. They danced with devotion. Stood in the fire. Tighter than before, they still want something more. The heat dries out the skin as their patience grows thinner, thinner than before. As they want even more, as they share in this fire. They stood in the fire, they burned with desire, and love and emotion. They danced with devotion. They stood in the fire.
Now that was a good song. It's actually the first time I've heard it, I think, and so I enjoyed it along with the rest of you. I've got some headphones on right now. Maybe I'll just turn on my lights with my foot. You want to see what this looks like with no lights? It looks like this, like, oh, I'm in the dark. Much better this way. Oh yeah. I have these gigantic light bulbs. They're as large as a man's fist or a potato, whichever is larger. So they're pretty nice. I wanted to address something that was not in the chat at all just because it was in my brain. And there's a lot of conversation about Bcash versus Bitcoin Cash. And I wanted to say a word about that because I'm the one that gets to talk around here. So let's do some talking. Bitcoin's been around for a long time, since 2009. And for the beginning of its existence, for the beginning of its existence, it didn't even have a trading value. But in 2017, it split into two coins, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And those who favored Bitcoin went on a targeted campaign to rename Bitcoin Cash as Bcash. Now, there's two reasons for that, but really the one biggest reason is if you're Bcash, you're not Bitcoin. Because there's actually kind of a feud right now about which one is the real Bitcoin. Is it Bitcoin, or is it Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin? And by having the word Bitcoin in your name, it makes you seem a lot more legitimate. So that's an attack against Bitcoin Cash to say, you're not the real Bitcoin, we are, because we're Bitcoin. And so that's the primary reason it's called Bcash. But also it's a lot more convenient to call it Bcash because it's a much shorter name. I mean, I twist up my tongue constantly. I'm like, Bitcoin Cash Coin, Bitcoin Cash, Cash, Bitcash Coin. It's confusing. So I sometimes call it Bcash too. So you're going to have to just get over that. Another interesting thing is another part of that attack, which I want to call out, was there was another fork of Bitcoin that was orchestrated by the opposers of Bitcoin Cash, and it was called Bitcoin Gold. And it actually gained some legitimacy in the sense that it's actually traded on an exchange. I suspect that several exchanges, I suspect these exchanges were paid to list it. Bitcoin Gold, which is another fork of Bitcoin, has very, very little support in the community, but it has a relatively high trading price for its level of support. But by creating Bitcoin Gold, in a way, it was another attack on Bitcoin Cash because it's like, oh, you're just a copy of Bitcoin, but not the real Bitcoin, just like Bitcoin Gold, whatever, a copy of Bitcoin and not the real Bitcoin. In fact, I even saw the other day, I saw it called B Gold, which I was like, what is B Gold? And then I was like, oh yeah, actually that's very, very clever because if you think of it as B Gold and Bcash, then you're relegating Bitcoin Cash to the illegitimate alternatives to Bitcoin. So it's like, get down off of my mountain, I'm the real Bitcoin. So B Gold is an attempt to say Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin. But I think this is all just a bunch of posturing. In the end, the markets and the economy are going to determine which is the real Bitcoin. In my opinion, it is the hash rate that determines the real Bitcoin, whichever blockchain has more mining behind it, because it's the one with the most security. And the hash rate is driven by price. So the one with the highest price is going to be the one with the highest hash rate. If you don't believe me, well, you're wrong. The highest price leads to the highest hash rate, guaranteed, because miners mine for a profit. That's kind of the point. And so right now, Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin. In the future, Bitcoin Cash could be the real Bitcoin. So anyway, that gives you a little bit of background on that. That's what's going on. I know that there's a lot of people watching right now who don't have all that history. I've been around Bitcoin since 2012, although unfortunately I didn't buy any in 2012. Kind of regretting that, but I've been around the space for a long, long time. And so I do have a little bit of background that not everybody does. So if you have any questions on that, you can be sure to mention them in the chat. I'd be glad to take them. But right now, I want to listen to Hidden by Scrux. Enjoy.
In the forest, he lays asleep wrongs. What have I done? You've forgotten the words to our song. Now it's gone. Take it back just for one night. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're alright. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them intertwine. Cause you don't know what you can do to me. It's not fair, I don't care. Take you there, make you mine before we're out of time. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize. Don't be so distant. Don't be so distant. So distant, distant from me, from me. You're so close, and yet so far. So I fight it, and here we are in each other's arms. Take it back just for one night. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're alright. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them intertwine. Cause you don't know what you can do to me. It's not fair, I don't care. Take you there, make you mine before we're out of time. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize. To the beat, come on, step with me. Let our bodies sing in harmony till the morning light. Synchronize. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize.
much we didn't know. Painting colors in the dark. Forgot about the crowds, our heads up in the clouds. Running mazes through our hearts when all our dreams felt like concrete falling out of reach. How did we get so lost? No lines we didn't cross when we were running towards a dream. The earthquake came, all that remained was broken up concrete. Walked through the flame, it left its name and scars on our bodies. On a cliff, we're scared to fall off of, trying to show the world what we're made of. On the edge, and I just keep praying we can build back up our foundation. Time keeps ticking on. What we're made of.
We are seeing Bitcoin Cash significantly declining over the past couple minutes, dropping now to 3,190. Yikes! Down from 4,000 or 4,300 at the opening about an hour ago. So this is a significant loss of value for Bitcoin Cash. However, still up wildly over the last 2 days. It was below $2,000 about 2 days ago. And so this is still good strength for Bitcoin Cash, and I wouldn't count it out just yet. There is a risk at any moment, such as like right now while I'm talking. Oop, there's a green candle. That the price could bounce up. Whoop. As I say that, oh, crypto is so funny. As I say, oh yeah, so the price could go up, then it begins going up. Hope you guys have been enjoying the music. I'm not turning on the camera because I don't want to, but that doesn't mean I won't. Actually, it does. I'm not going to turn on the camera. I'm just going to play some more awesome music for you. Our next song, our next song is, I'm skipping that song too. I don't want that song. Click this button, click this button. No. Next song. Oh yeah, this one is awesome. Losing You by Ifixa. Losing People's not awesome, but this song is. Enjoy.
What is happening?
I can feel it, baby. The price of Bitcoin Cash going up. Thank you guys for sticking around. We still have a remarkable 68 people watching right now. Most of you guys left your computers on and went to sleep probably, but I'm going to turn off this stream today. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that. Click the subscribe button, pick up the next stream. Occasionally things happen in the Bitcoin space. Cryptocurrency as a whole has a lot of drama going on, so you never know when the next stream is going to come up. Also, I run a YouTube channel. This is a YouTube channel. So there's videos on there. You can take a look around. A lot of videos on Purecoin, which is a really old Purecoin's actually the very first proof of stake cryptocurrency, years and years old, and I've got some videos about that on the channel. And then I have a lot of videos about BitShares, which is a blockchain that actually has an exchange on it, so you can trade between different tokens on the exchange. And it's pretty old also. BitShares is from 2014, so one of the first decentralized exchanges as well. You can learn about that on the channel. And then of course a lot of crypto news, that kind of stuff. So and I focus on shorter videos. The show is called 1 Minute Crypto, but I've been fudging a little bit on that. It's like more like 3-minute crypto, but I don't want to rename myself, so I'm still 1 Minute Crypto. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking around. Be sure to subscribe, and there's a mailing list also. You can sign up behind me if you want to, but you don't have to do any of that stuff. I just appreciate that you were here enjoying the launch of Bitcoin Cash on GDAX. It was a lot of fun to have you, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Baby.